morning, students. Once again, a very hearty welcome to the English world of Aradhya. Students, myself, Rasmin sir, imparting knowledge of English to the students of 9 to 12 standard in English medium. Students, you know, in my previous videos, we have already taken your last lesson. The title of the lesson is Silk Road, written by Nick Middleton. And as I told you, he is on his way to complete his Kora. Kora means the journey of the mountain, just revolution of the mountain. And he is accompanied by his friend Daniel. Now, last time when we saw when they reached Hor, that particular place, after that Daniel left him. Daniel went to Lhasa, and now he was left with only Setan, the driver. Okay. Now they just stopped at a particular place, tire repair shop, because they had got two flat tires. So in that area you need to have one extra spare wheel. Okay, students, so that's why they were waiting over there and getting their punctured tire repaired. Okay, from there we will continue. Then, yeah, Hor was a green, miserable place. There was no vegetation whatsoever, just dust and rocks. So this is the description of this particular place, Hor. I already told you last time. Liberally scattered with years of accumulated refuse. Now you see there is no vegetation in that area. Plus a lot of dirt is there. Accumulated refuse means stored, we can say, stored refuse, garbage, which over the years people have just kept on throwing over there. Okay, which was unfortunate given that the town sat on the shore of the Lake Mansarovar. And this was unfortunate thing. People here come for their religious journey. And just near the this one, Lake Mansarovar, if they find like this place, which is very dirty, very green, very miserable, then it is something unfortunate, because their government or the other people cannot go to clean it so easily. And people keep on coming every year. So it would get more and more accumulated. Okay. And it will smell also very bad. Okay. Tibet's most venerated stretch of water. Okay. Venerated here means very much revered, very much respected stretch of water. You will find over here, Lake Mansarovar. Ancient Hindu and Buddhist cosmology pinpoints Mansarovar as the source of four great Indian rivers: the Indus, the Ganges, the Satluj, and the Brahmaputra. Now, students, in history, in geography, you must have studied all this. All these big rivers, they originate from Lake Mansarovar. Okay, mountain Kailas, that Lake Mansarovar area. From there only all these big rivers originate. Okay. So according to the Hindu cosmology and according to Buddhist cosmology, also cosmology means just a study of the universe. We come to know that the origin places of all these four rivers is same. Okay, actually only the Satluj flows from the lake, but the headwaters of the others all rise nearby the flanks of Mount Kailas. Okay, out of those four rivers, only Satluj's water comes from Lake Mansarovar. But remaining three rivers over here, that is Ganga, Indus, and Brahmaputra. So they have their origin just close to it. Okay, near Mount Kailas. So that's why I told you Mount Kailas. Okay, just on the flanks of Mount Kailas, means on the edges of Mount Kailas. We were within striking distance of great mountain, and I was eager to forge ahead. Okay, now the writer could see the great mountain, that is Mount Kailas he is talking about. Okay, and he had come to just take a round of it. Okay, to complete his religious journey. And I was eager to forge ahead, because now he is striking distance. The Mount Kailas can be seen easily. So it is very close by, students, we can say, at reachable distance. Okay, and that's why writer is filled with a new energy now, that he wants to complete. Now Mount Kailas is seen. Up till now he was just waiting when it will come, when it will come. Okay, so till that time it is what? Far possibility. But when you see such a place close to, in front of your eyes, then what will happen? Then you will be filled, automatically you will be filled with renewed energy. And that's why writer is now very eager to forge ahead, means to move ahead, forward. But I had to wait. Setan told me to go and drink some tea in Howard's only cafe, which, like all other buildings in town, was constructed from badly painted concrete and had three broken windows. So I told you earlier only, students, you will not find any proper hotel or proper lodge. So Satan said that, okay, I know you have come for your religious journey, but before you go for that, just go and have some tea. We have got plenty of time. We are going to stay here for some time, so you don't have to worry. Go and have some tea in the, what is that? The only cafe, Hoard's only cafe. Hoard is a town over there, and in that entire town, they have only one cafe. Understood? Cafe shop where tea and other drinks are served. Like all the other buildings in town, was constructed from badly painted concrete and had three broken windows. Now, from its description only we can make out what sort of cafe it was. It was constructed from the badly painted concrete. Okay, so in a way it was, we can say it was made up of RCC, but not in a proper way. And three broken windows it had. So the owner could not afford to even repair those windows, because he thought that who would come here, and they would not come here to appreciate this view and all that. Understood? So that's why maybe the owner was not worried about it. The good view of the lake through one of them helped me compensate for the drought. Okay? The good view of the lake. Now, one side they see this cafe is in a very furniture condition. Okay? Third class condition. The owner of that doesn't bother to repair those broken windows also. So that nobody would like to look at such a cafe, or nobody would like to have any tea or coffee in such a cafe. But what to do? They don't have any other option. That is the only cafe over there. So maybe the owner knows that people will definitely come, because here there is no other cafe. Even though they don't like to look at my cafe, even they don't like the broken windows and this part, then also they will come, because climate is also such so cold, so they will definitely come for tea or coffee over here. Understood? So that's why the owner is not worried. But writer says that the view of the Lake Mansarovar, okay, that just adjusted. The good view of the lake through one of them helped to compensate for the drought. Through one of those broken window, you see, the writer could see the Lake Mansarovar. So when he was sitting over there sipping his coffee, he could see the view of the Lake Mansarovar, and that's why he says that even though cafe was in third class condition, but that one window was giving me a very good view of Lake Mansarovar. So that thing compensated with this particular situation or the condition of the cafe. Okay. I was served by a Chinese youth in military uniform who spread the grease around my table with a filthy rag before bringing me a glass and a thermos of tea. Okay, students, now here this is what is sitting over there. One Chinese youth comes, okay, and he has put on some military uniform, he is spreading, cleaning the table with one cloth, rag of the cloth. And how was it? It was greasy. So that's why writer says that he spread grease on my table, around my table, with a filthy rag. Filthy rag means very dirty piece of cloth, before bringing me a glass and a thermos of tea. Now see how they are serving the tea. Okay, if they keep the tea in normal condition, it would get fridged. It would just get clogged. So to stop it from that, they have to put the tea in thermos, which can keep it hot for a long time. So he served him tea in this way. He gave him a thermos of tea and also a glass. Glass mein chai piyo. Normally, this is the situation wherever you go at any tea corner, tea shops on the roadside, they would serve you this tea in glass only. So here also, he was served in glass. Half an hour later, Satan relieved me from my solitary confinement, and we drove past a lot more rocks and rubbish westwards out of town towards Mount Kailas. Okay, students, now see here, they spent about half an hour, and after that, Satan just took him from his solitary confinement. Confinement means lonely confinement. Here it seems that he was caught in this particular cafe where there was no other person except he and Satan. Now Satan took him further, and we drove past a lot more rocks and rubbish westwards. So on the western side they went, and that side they had a lot of rocks, and also earlier I told you Hor was a town of garbage. So again they found a lot of rubbish, means garbage over there. And towards which side they were moving? They were moving towards Mount Kailas. My experience in Hor came as a stark contrast to accounts I had read of earlier travelers' first encounters with Lake Mansarovar. Okay, so students, here he had completely different experience when he came to this particular place. Before that, he had made a little study of this particular place, Hor. Okay, earlier travelers who had come over here many years ago, so they had given their accounts of this particular place, Hor. So in their accounts, it was totally a different place. It was a clean place, nice place. Okay, but now when writer went over there, it was such a dirty place. Okay, so that's why he found this particular experience in complete contrast. Stark contrast means in complete contrast of what he had read about this particular place. Understood? Okay. Excuse me, students. Yeah. Mansarovar. Eikai Kawaguchi, a Japanese monk who had arrived there in 1900, was so moved by the sanctity of the lake that he burst into tears. So this is what he had read about this particular place. When in 1900 a particular monk named Eikai Kawaguchi, when he had come over here, this place was looking so holy, its sanctity, okay, means its holiness, just moved him, and he started crying. Burst into tears means he started crying just because of the holiness of this place. And now when writer has come over here, there is a lot of dirt all around, lot of garbage all around. Okay, you don't feel like standing there for 1 minute. Okay, so that sort of situation. A couple of years later, the hallowed water had a similar effect on Sven Hedin, a Swede who wasn't prone to sentimental outbursts. Understood? A couple of years later, yani after 2 years, that's Eikai Kawaguchi had come in the year 1900, and after 2 years, means in 1902, another person from Sweden had come over there. Okay, it is written as Swede, so he is a Swedish person, Sven Hedin. So when he came over here after 2 years, he also had the same effect. He was not so sentimental. But when he looked at the sanctity of this particular place, the holiness of this particular place, okay, he was also just showing that sort of reaction. He also started crying, sentimental outbursts. Understood, students? Some places of the nature, I tell you, are such that it can automatically cure us. Okay, if we are feeling very sinful, if we are feeling very nervous, if we are feeling very much, what we say, discouraged or in a lot of despair, if we go to such places, I tell you, such places, its natural beauty will definitely cure us instantly. We don't require any doctor. We don't require any treatment. So it is said that in 1902, when another Swedish, okay, Sven Hedin, when he came over here, he was not such a sentimental type of person. But then also when he saw such a natural beauty over there, the holiness of this place, he also started crying like Eikai Kawaguchi. Okay, so all these things the writer had read earlier, and now writer finds this place totally different from what he had read. Okay, it was dark by the time we finally left again, and after 10:30 p.m. means it is night time, we drew up outside a guest house in Darshan. Now this is a new place they come to. Okay, from Hor they are coming to Darshan for what turned out to be another troubled night. Okay, now they are going to face another troubled night, especially the writer. Kicking around in the open air rubbish dump that passed for the town of Hor had set off my cold once more. Okay, when they were passing by the Hor, and I told you there was a lot of dirt, lot of garbage, and those things, when these people were passing by in their four-wheeler, those things had automatically just recreated his cold. Okay, affected his head so much that he was feeling very much cold over there. So that's why he says that this night also I will have to remain awake only. Because of cold, I would go on sneezing and I would not get sleep at all. So that's what he talks about. Okay. Set up my cold once more, though if truth be told, it had never quite disappeared with my herbal tea. So here he says that I had a tea at cafe in Hor, and that was a herbal tea. And then I thought that herbal tea would definitely drive the cold out of my body quickly. But remember, students, in normal condition also, if you suffer from cold, it would stay at least 4 or 5 days with you, whether you take medicine or you don't take medicine. Understood? It requires about 4 to 5 days to get clear of it. Okay. So students, here he says that he first thought that his herbal tea would quickly get him out of that cold. But again, this dust area, because some people, I told you, that garbage area, they have the allergy towards dust, and they had the cold of that allergy. Okay, while other people have the cold of climate. So here, that's why students, he says that again my cold was alive. One of my nostrils was blocked again, and as I lay down to sleep, I wasn't convinced that the other would provide me with sufficient oxygen. One nostril was closed, so now he could breathe only with the other nostril. And at such a height, he was disturbed and he was worried that with one nostril, could he get enough oxygen? Understood, students? So that was a worry for him. I wasn't convinced that the other would provide me with sufficient oxygen. My watch told me I was at 4,760 meters. Okay. First they went upwards, from that other side of the path they just came downwards. Okay. Earlier he was talking about the distance of 5,515 meters. Now he is talking about 4,760 meters. So the other side of that particular path they came down. It wasn't much higher than Rao, and there I had been gasping for oxygen several times every night. Okay, so here he just remembers his earlier experience. He says that Rao, from where he started his journey, okay, that was also at such a height only, 4,760 meter. And here also same. So there also he was just gasping for breath, yani struggling to get oxygen very badly. So here also almost same situation is there. I had grown accustomed to these nocturnal disturbances by now, but they still scared me. So he says that this experience I had earlier also. But students, I tell you, because I myself suffer from cold many a times. So I tell you, cold is not at all good for anyone. Even though the person may be very much habituated to it. Okay, cold may have been haunting him for about 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 15 years. But in any condition, I tell you, students, or for the first time, cold is not good at all for our health, because you cannot concentrate. And if you have got some running nose, then it is very difficult to concentrate on any work. Okay, sometimes when I get like that cold where I got a running nose, what I do, I stop all the work and just go to sleep, because in sleeping condition your head normally goes backward, so that water will not come out. Okay, that liquid will not come out from your nose. Okay, so here it is said that whatever it was, he says that I was accustomed, means habituated to such disturbances, but they still scared me. Okay, this effect of cold still scared me, means frightened me. That's what the writer accepts. Tired and hungry, I started breathing through my mouth. When your nose is not working, when your nose is blocked, okay, when your nose is blocked, both the nostrils, what do? You have to start breathing with your mouth. your mouth will remain a bit open. So oxygen will go in your body through your mouth. Understood? So now he doesn't have any option. He cannot keep his mouth shut. He has to keep his mouth a bit open so that he can breathe at least through the mouth. Tired and hungry, I started breathing through my mouth. After a while, I switched to single nostril power, which seemed to be admitting enough oxygen. But just as I was drifting off, I woke up abruptly. Now he thought that okay, one nostril is giving him enough oxygen, and just at that time only he suddenly, abruptly means suddenly, woke up. Something was wrong. My chest felt strangely heavy, and I sat up. Okay, a movement that cleared my nasal passages, although almost instantly, and relieved the feeling in my chest. Curious, I thought. Understood? So this was the strange thing that happened to him. He was already facing some breathing problem, and suddenly he felt that what? Students, my chest felt strangely heavy. Strange, chest में कुछ थोड़ा heavy उसको महसूस हुआ. And I set up a movement later that cleared my nasal passage almost instantly. When he got up, what happened? His nose was quite okay. Now there is no blockage. Oxygen can easily pass through it, and relieved the feeling in my chest which was feeling very heavy earlier, just few minutes back. Now it was also feeling quite okay. Curious, I thought. So this is a curious feeling. Okay, everybody will love to know how it happened. Just few minutes back I was struggling to breathe, and now I am getting quite oxygen quite nicely. Understood? So students, now he is feeling a bit better. Let's see what happens. So what happens in the remaining lesson we will see in my next video, students. So till that time, all of you just can take rest. Okay, students, just study this lesson once again, because language is very high because of some unknown words, tough words that come across, and because also of some words related to geography. So you will have to understand this lesson in that context also. So kindly go through this lesson once again. Thank you. Have a nice day. God bless you.